So October this year was really the best Techtober that we've had till now. Excellent set of phones that have launched, and of course you've probably already seen all the videos on almost all of your favorite YouTubers channels as well. So I was actually expecting November to be slightly easy on us, but that's not really the case. Because most importantly, really soon Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 is going to be launched, and I'm actually going to be in Hawaii for the very first time along with Qualcomm to see what all new they're bringing with Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. And this time around, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 phones are actually coming really soon apparently, and there are a few launches in November itself. So I am really excited for November as well for what it brings. So here are the top 6 upcoming phones that you should look out for before you spend money on any phone right now. If you're here for the very first time, I'm Arshad, you're watching Trakin Tech English, your destination for detailed, incisive gadget reviews. Starting off with the Redmi Note 13 under 20,000 rupees. So the Note 13 series was launched in China recently, and I had a look at the specs. And honestly, the Note 13 series is a huge upgrade over the Note 12 series. Now talking about the Note 13, this is going to be the base variant, the one that most people will end up buying, and it's going to be priced under rupees 20,000. So the Note 13 is going to come with a 6.67-inch 120Hz AMOLED Full HD Plus panel. So yes, AMOLED is going to be available under 20,000. And it's got the Dimensity 6080 chip. It will be available in 2 variants, RAM variants, basically 6 and 8 GB. Of course, 5000 mAh battery, 33-watt charging, and Android 13 out of the box is to be expected. But what I am curious to see is if this phone, when it launches in India, which is expected to be somewhere in mid-November, will it come with MIUI or the newly announced HyperOS? For the camera enthusiasts, it's expected to come with 108 megapixel primary camera and a 2MP depth camera as well. No ultra-wide, no telephoto, so that's something that we expected. So the next phone is the middle child, the Redmi Note 13 Pro, and that's looking really good too. And it's a huge spec bump over the Redmi Note 12 Pro for sure, and it's expected to be priced under rupees 25,000. One of the interesting things on the Redmi Note 13 Pro is that it'll come with Snapdragon 7S Gen 2 chip, and the display will be a 6.67-inch flat panel, but with 1.5K resolution, AMOLED of course, and 120Hz refresh rate as well, and it'll be a 12-bit panel with Dolby Vision support too. And the camera setup is going to be a triple camera setup with 200MP primary camera, 8MP ultra-wide, and a 2MP macro as well. On the front, there'll be a 16MP camera, and it will be available mostly in 2 variants, 8GB and 12GB. And also it's expected to come with a 5100 mAh battery and 67-watt fast charging as well. So of course the Redmi Note 13 Pro looks interesting, but the Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus looks even more interesting. So talking about the Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus, we actually imported it from China. Unfortunately, I didn't do a video on the English channel, but it's live on the Tamil channel. So if you want to take a look at how the phone looks, or just for shits and giggles, go check the video out. It should pop up right now. Now this phone is expected to be priced under 30,000. If it does come under 30,000, it will be fantastic. But it seems really difficult, primarily considering the specs are absolutely nuts. So it has a 6.67-inch 1.5K curved AMOLED panel, 120Hz refresh rate, again 12-bit and Dolby Vision support as well. Also, it's got the Dimensity 7200 Ultra chip, not the best SoC if you look at it when you consider phones under 30,000, but it's got Gorilla Glass Victus protection on the front and IP68 rating as well. This is proper premium features on a mid-range phone. And it is also expected to come with a 5000 mAh battery and 120-watt fast charging support too. And the triple camera setup from the Redmi Note 13 Pro is also going to be present on the Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus, so 200MP plus 8MP plus 2MP. By the way, apart from the Redmi Note 13 series, the Redmi Note 13 Pro could also come as the rebranded POCO X6 Pro, like it happened last year with the POCO X5 Pro. Now with the POCO X6 Pro, it's going to be the same specs as the Redmi Note 13 Pro. Firstly, POCO is definitely going to price it below the Redmi Note series. And there could be some changes on the POCO X6 Pro compared to the Redmi Note 13 Pro. For example, it could be available in a different SKU with less RAM or maybe less storage. And of course, instead of a 200MP camera, maybe a 108 megapixel camera to save on some costs. Regardless, these Redmi and POCO phones are looking really exciting, and I'm looking forward to them as well. Now directly from the under 20, under 30K range, we are going to the premium flagships because some Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 phones are expected to launch in November as well. So the first one I want to talk about, and we've started getting glimpses of it, is the iQOO 12. And iQOO, as you all know, generally is a performance beast, but this time around the design seems to be changed as well, which is something that I am looking forward to. But yes, it'll come with Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 inside. And it'll have a 5000 mAh battery and of course 120-watt flash charge support as well. And the display will be a flat panel, 6.67-inch if my guess is right, or maybe a curved one, but we don't know that for sure yet. It'll be AMOLED 120Hz of course. but it'll also have QHD resolution this time around. Now the camera setup on these phones are getting better and better every year. So the iQOO 12 is actually expected to come with a 50MP primary camera, but a 64MP telephoto camera and a 50MP ultra wide as well. Lots of resolution. But you know what? This camera setup apparently is going to be the same on the OnePlus 12, the iQOO 12 Pro maybe, and or the 12. We don't know that yet, whether there are going to be two variants or only a single one, and also the Realme GT series. Now, another thing I must mention about the iQOO 12 and one of the leaks that have come out is that the iQOO 12 could come with 24 GB of RAM and up to 1 TB of storage. Anyway, this phone is actually launching in China on 7th of November. Alright, one series of phones that I am looking forward to is the Vivo X100 series. But you know what, to be honest, we don't have too much information about it, but there are strong rumors that suggest that this phone will be announced in China by the end of November. So the X100, the X100 Pro and the X100 Pro Plus, all three should be announced ideally. But then when it comes to January in India, that is when we're expecting the series to come. Maybe the Pro Plus might not come, but I really want the Pro Plus to come this year around. Hopefully that happens. Now with this series, what happens is that Vivo uses best of MediaTek and Qualcomm chips. So you can expect the Dimensity 9300 to be present on the X100 and the X100 Pro, and the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 on the X100 Pro Plus. Now, considering there are strong rumors that suggest that the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 is going to be even more expensive this year, even more powerful, so it might not make sense for Vivo to bring the X100 Pro Plus to India if it's going to be priced out of people's expectations. So that could just happen. Now, what I'm excited for with the X100 series is the camera setup, but unfortunately, we don't have clarity on what the camera setup is going to be, but you can expect it to be very similar to the iQOO 12 series for sure. Now, these phones are also expected to come with 5400 mAh battery, 120 watt fast charging. The 5400 mAh number is very similar to what we saw with the OnePlus 12. This time around, I think the battery sizes are going up and maybe the phones will become fatter. I don't know how they're gonna, adjust for the size of the phone. We'll have to wait and watch. The next set of phones is the Xiaomi 14 series, and this one is also very, very exciting. So the Xiaomi 14 and the 14 Pro are expected to launch really soon. The first rumor that I'm reading about the Xiaomi 14 series is that this time around their Leica partnership is going to be getting even stronger. So instead of using Summicron lenses, they're going to be using Summilux lenses, and these lenses are better for low light photography and they're higher quality lenses. So yeah, that partnership is very, very exciting. More importantly, for the very first time, it's going to introduce Xiaomi's upgrade from MIUI to HyperOS. Now, I'm not so sure how HyperOS will actually function or how it will be better than MIUI, but it's something that's very exciting to see. Now, the Xiaomi 14 and the 14 Pro are expected to come with Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. Again, the standard Android 14 will be available, 5000 mAh battery, 120 watt fast charging, all of that should be present. Very exciting to see what the Xiaomi 14 and the 14 Pro bring to the table, considering the 13 and the 13 Pro were fantastic this year around. Now, about the 14 Ultra, well, that's something that we have to wait and watch. Alright, the final phone in the list is the Realme GT5 Pro. So the Realme GT5 itself was a very good looking phone. So the 5 Pro is something to look forward to as well. Again, lots of good flagships coming from the Chinese manufacturers. Again, the GT5 Pro is also expected to come with Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. But the GT5 Pro, just like the iQOO 12, could also have 24 GB of RAM, 1 TB of storage, and a 144Hz refresh rate, curved panel, all of those things will be present. And the GT5 Pro could be the only phone among flagships to have 240 watt fast charging, which is very surprising considering I think the fastest charging, tech introduced by Oppo has not been used on Oppo phones yet, and Realme is using it on a lot of its phones. But I hope that India launch also happens for the GT5 series or the GT5 Pro. Fingers crossed. And the launch date for the GT5 Pro is expected to be somewhere in mid-November. So these are the phones that are expected to launch next month. But as you've noticed, there are very few India-specific launches. A lot of the launches are, China-specific. So most of these phones will come at a later date to India. But in India itself, you can expect the Galaxy M44 to come. Maybe we'll have to wait and watch, and some Infinix smartphones as well. So which one are you excited for? Let me know in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, keep tracking and stay safe.